I'm dead by a BK-13. The black screen of death, it says you are dead. But I waved, said hello, still popped in the head. So again, I now ghost spawned back at the coast. I moved to the town up, less players to boast. I need food, I need water, something to drink. I'm flashing red, oh shit, it's starting to blink. I fight wolves and infected, I'm on my last legs. Yes, a jam jar of pitsy, I blocked all the sets. I got through it, although it proper looked bleak. I never gave up, I'm not one of the weak. The rules are simple in the world of DayZ. No mic, no life, or the coast you will see. Your voice is your weapon, you can use it, you're wise. Here fear will haunt you, that's not your main prize. A screamer, a captain, you see a car flips. Yo, it's a fucking zombie apocalypse. I just maybe dozens of times, but I keep going. I find my inner Rick Grimes as I have learned, run through the lines in the trees, scoping out towns first. I know someone agrees, so now I made it. I have all the best loot, built a sick base and set down some roots. But that ain't it, surely it can't be the end. No, I'll want to be free and find me a friend. The rules are simple in the world of DayZ. No mic, no life, or the coast you will see. Your voice is your weapon, you can use it, you're wise. Here fear will haunt you, that's not your main prize. A screamer, a captain, you see a car flips. Yo, it's a fucking zombie apocalypse. You know I never trusted that guy at the coast. Oh, but what if I did? That troubles me most. The ups and downs, near death once or twice. I could have shared the experiences that would have been nice. You know I never trusted that guy at the coast. Oh, but what if I did? That troubles me most. The ups and downs, near death once or twice. I could have shared the experiences that would have been nice.
Broadcasting straight from the zombie apocalypse, you're tuned to Static Signals, a voice in the DayZ community, with your hosts, Rakan and Gunner the Runners. Survive the static, share the signal.
We're here again.
We're here. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. I always have this trepidation when there's button pressing involved, and it's whether can everyone hear me, and then I'm looking at you thinking, well, you look like you can hear me. It's just whether everyone else can, and then it might even. Go on.
That's where I paused. I was like, "Oh, are we being heard? Are we live? Is this live?" But we are. We are live. We're here on Twitch. We did the. It's been a couple weeks. We did the resolutions. And we wanted to do something special, and we have a very special guest today. I'm pretty excited about this one, Gunner.
Me too.
I've always wanted to get into the head of to the brain of a map maker, because DayZ editor is hard, and and I don't know what to do half of the time. And but the creative aspect of it is really cool, and we have somebody here that has made some really cool maps and building a game for us. I mean, that's fucking cool, dude. To build a game with it end game. Listen, we'll get into it. Gunner, introduce him, let everybody know who we have here, and we'll get it started.
Well, again, very lucky to have RedHunter with us today. So not only the creator of Siberia and New York, constantly supporting the DayZ community. So it's a huge thing for us to have RedHunter here, because we've all played his maps. I've been super lucky to be in some of the trailers that we're going to watch, and I've seen firsthand how much thought and love and time goes into this. This isn't just throwing it together and hoping for the best. I don't want to go into it too much, but I've done a scene in a trailer for potentially 2.5 hours until we got it right, because it means that much to him. And so it was, yeah. So we've got RedHunter, who is an incredible person in the DayZ community.
Hello there.
Oh yeah, there we go. So we should have said, hi, how are you doing, Red? Yeah, you've got a really busy day, and you said that you could squeeze in an hour for us. So we really appreciate that, because we know how much is happening. And in all fairness, looking at your Discord, people want stuff all of the time. So we appreciate the fact that you're squeezing us in to have a bit of a chat as we go through. Should we, though, start off very quickly with watching the trailers to see what we're dealing with here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So these are the trailers for New York and for Siberia. Now, obviously, there's work in progress on both maps, and there's a lot happening. And there's a play test on Siberia right now, which is really fucking cool. I was playing it yesterday. Rakan promised to come and hunt me, but I didn't see him. I don't know whether you even tried to look for me. But I'm not throwing shade at you. Look at that. It looks like it's like, oh, I don't want to say anything. But we are going to watch the trailers now, because they are really, really cool, and you'll see how much effort goes into these trailers. So okay, we'll pop those on now. So more button pressing. So bear with me.
When liberty first crumbled, it began here, on the crowded streets of Manhattan. The virus came like a whisper in the dark, then roared through the city like wildfire. But walls mean nothing to the dead. They spilled over, consuming every borough, until all of New York was drowning in screams. But as the living grew fewer and the dead grew more, desperation turned men into killers. Then came the Great Flood. When the waters receded, only fragments of Manhattan and Brooklyn still stood above the tides. The military, desperate to hold the line, walled off the north and rushed to evacuate Brooklyn.
Hey, do you even know what's going on in Manhattan?
I heard something went wrong on Liberty and people went all freaking crazy downtown.
I was supposed to meet up with my unit at the precinct.
It looks like that's not happening anytime soon.
It's pretty jammed, man. I think we're gonna have to go on foot here.
The survivors became shadows on the rooftops, stringing zip lines from building to building, forever searching for a place untouched by death.
takeoff.
Does anyone even know what we are even going in for?
I don't know. I only know there's something evil out there. You better watch your back.
All right, listen up, people. We have a critical breach of the laboratory. Scientists unintentionally opened a portal to hell. We've lost communication. Your primary objective is to locate any survivors and secure them while eliminating all hostiles emerging from the breach. Okay, we're hit. Proceed with caution. Unknown entities are involved in the situation is highly sensitive.
Those
I
are
just realized
quite good.
I just realized my mic wasn't on. Yeah, they are brilliant, and having been a part of like just the crew, the actors, they're brilliant. I just think they're incredible. They just bring a map to life. Do you wanna lead off, Rakan, or do you want me to go with the first question?
Go for it.
So, Red, let's start right at the beginning. What got you involved in the whole process of wanting to put maps together for DayZ? Or was it something else that actually brought you to this game?
Well, I was always a fan of horror survival games, but I always wanted my own ideas into those maps, into the actual game. So gradually I started modding in the beginning. And slowly someone approached me and said, "Why don't you make your own maps? That way you could put your ideas to life." I was like, "Yeah, well, it's gonna take me years to learn how to do maps, you know. Don't learn this like tomorrow." So this guy, his name is Rhino, and I was gonna remember his name. He was working on an island called, I think it's Murder Island, and he said I could teach you and show you a little bit, and you could go from there. So he showed me how to do the basics, and under a week I had my own map set up called Dead Isle, and that's when I started to do maps. So anything is possible if you know, get the information out there. Just gotta look it up, YouTube, ask questions, and you gotta be motivated, you know, put your ideas to life. So When I started doing that, I started to fall in love with it because I could see that I could make my ideas come to life. People enjoy it.
So what skills? Because like, I appreciate you said that if you motivated and you had some sort. What skills did you have already, or did you start from complete scratch? So what was you working with before you started doing the modding?
I started doing servers in the beginning. I was on console before I got on PC, and I had a big server called War Z. It was high pop every day, but I didn't like console because it was limited on the modding. So I decided to go on PC. And then I started to host my own servers on that. I had DRL. I made my own sort of like storyline to the servers. And slowly, I approached, like I said, my own maps because I wanted to make DayZ like a different gameplay, keeping the same original gameplay, but have that horror into it, make it different.
So when we saw the videos for New York and for Siberia, when you go into the process, the creative process of making a map, do you start off with a story first in your head, or is it something more of let me build and then I'll start putting the story together? Because I mean, there are layers to map making and to your maps that you've created. I mean, you created a whole end game and a whole, just the Siberia one. I don't want to give anything away, but it looked like there were some pretty scary monsters somewhere deep and dark. So it's do you already have a story in mind? You talked about horror games. Is that kind of how you approach it? Do you have a story first and then start building the map from there?
Yeah, basically, it's funny, but when I'm at work all day in my head, I start having these ideas. They come to me and I write them down. As soon as I get home, I start building my ideas. I get inspired, even just driving on the road, just looking at how the city's made, how the landscape is. It gives me ideas how to build it, you know? And I've always been someone that, like, I don't know, it's just comes to me. I get these spontaneous ideas, but I try to write it down because I forget. But, yeah, I
Do you have
played a
some
lot.
sort of a notebook then with all these ideas in?
I type it in like on my phone.
Okay.
I have over 300 notes.
Wow.
Every day I write down notes, and as soon as I have an idea, I put it into my map.
Is this a do you have have you assembled a team to help you build these maps, or is this something that you kind of go into solo and then maybe pull people in later if you need some help, or is this you?
So most of the time it's me, but like let's say Siberia, I had a lot of help of Eva, Simple Evil, and Shalupa Batman. Two of my friends, they helped me with ideas. They helped me with details. Eva did a lot of like little coast details, like the city, like the fences, props, and stuff like that. And Batman, he's the original one who made hell. He's more of a guy, he likes to make obstacles. He's good at doing that. So he helps me out and he always like does the crazy parts of the map. Stuff that I'm more of a I have the ideas, but for underground stuff, it's less of my skill level.
Can you
So
tell
he
us?
helps me out
Oh,
with
sorry.
it.
I was gonna say, can you tell us an
So
idea that you wrote down and then it, you? I'm trying to find the best website. It was just so big that it just wasn't going to be possible, or are you limited in the way that you can still map design?
uh well, most of my ideas I try to base off them realistic because a lot of
Okay.
stuff that I want are scripted and that you need like an advanced scripter to help you out with that. They're not everywhere. So yeah, a little bit like hell. I didn't even know if hell would have been possible because in my head I wanted water that's like lava. So when you touch it, it burns you. I wanted, fire on torches and stuff around. So slowly I am building that kind of vibe, but I'm still keeping it realistic because DayZ is an old engine. You can't put too much particles in there.
I suppose then on the flip side of that, have you had anything that hasn't worked or just not been possible?
Um, I was working on the beginning of Siberia. I had the antenna system, a little bit like the
Mhm.
mosque. I had like 3 antennas that you have to activate, and that opens up a portal. But there was an issue with it, so I changed the story a little bit with it because I wanted that originally, and then I noticed there was issues with it. So I changed it for a portal inside of a bunker instead. That's always active. And that's where I came up with the idea of the hell keys to open a bunker, open the gates, and get in the portal instead of using the antenna.
Oh. Yeah, I'm in possession of some of those hell keys, but yeah, sorry, Rakan, go on.
No. I was so in creating these maps and creating it's a labor of love, right? You put so much time and effort into there, and then you put it out there for the DayZ community to play. Of course, you put it out there for a playtest first, but um, then you put it out there for the public. How and I know that people play these maps and and DayZ is, like you said earlier, is a little bit limited on the things that you can do, and there's always bugs in DayZ. I'm sorry, not bugs, features in DayZ. How do you and you have these streamers that go in there and they stream like Gunner or like Miss Jekyll or like Popski or some of these people that are in here watching. Um, how much of an impact do they have on your creation, and what do you do with some of that feedback or just information that they give you? I mean, how much does that change what you do and how you create these?
Well, I try to balance it out. I try to keep it, like Gunner, I use him as science with his team. I want him to test everything. The first time he tests New York, the Easter egg, I want it to be hard, realistic, not too crazy.
Mhm.
So, because sometimes I go a little bit crazy in my ideas. I want it so hard that it's possible, but you'll die a lot. But I gotta keep in mind that not everyone in DayZ wants to work that hard to get to the end game. So I try to balance it out. So the feedback does help for bugs and everything. So I adjust everything as I go with the feedback. Like now, the next Siberia update, I wanted him to test a little bit what I have right now. So I get the feedback and I keep doing my patch. And when it's complete, then I'll do a playtest.
how many how many patches or how many when do you say it's done, right? I mean, do you ever say that it's done? Like, what is that, like Leonardo da Vinci or something like that? You know what I mean? You're painting and you're painting. Is something ever really done and complete, um to where you can say, here you go, this is it, this is how it's going to go? I mean, you're going to have bugs and stuff, but as in a story or the map itself, there's all the buildings are set, the quest is out there, the mission, it's done, it's complete. There's nothing more that I could add to it to make it any better or that I want to change.
I would say for the moment, in New York is not finished for that. I already have a plan in my head for New York. It's a big story, but currently it's a private story. I can't really
Hmm.
tell you guys too much about it, but I can tell you there's gonna be another dimension
Oh
in the
shit.
Easter egg, and it's
Okay.
gonna be a whole new level. We're rebuilding completely New York. like really good. And Siberia, it's almost complete. Like I could say there's 2 new islands, but I feel that it needs an extra thing. Like there is hell, yeah, but I feel that people want something more. So I'm still thinking about it.
So
And I
this
also
is
have a new map coming for that.
oh. Well, just jumping back to so talking about kind of what Rakan just said about ever knowing if your map has finished. Like we were on like yesterday, there was a group. I think there was 7 or 8 of us on at one point, as a group, and as we were running around and doing what we do, being silly and getting shot and whatnot, like there's things we're just looking at going, I don't know what else Red can add to this experience that we're not getting already. Do you ever feel like there's always an end point before you then starting to go over and starting to over egg the pudding? Or does it always have to be updating, do you think, in your opinion?
I think once you got your Easter egg really done and your whole setup of your map, like everything's laid out. Okay. Like all the towns, everything, all the forests. The thing is to think about now is just polishing it. Like, okay, like the streets, the roads in the forest, they're plain. There's like nothing on them. It'd be nice to have like little cars, wrecked cars at some spots, little cabins, little details. So that's where you come in with little hot fixes
Mhm.
as the end, as you go. And it is a big map, so there's always going to be some updates. Look at Dero. He's still updating after what, 7 or 6 years? I don't know, 8 years. And he's still coming up with new stuff. So that's what it is. When you like your map, try to expand it. Some people just end it after a month. They're like, okay, this is it, and that's it. A little bit like Namalsk. Been done for a while now. They update it, but not really. Like they keep it like it is. People like it like that. And I want to get to that point. I want to be like, okay, this map is finished. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah, because there are what you could class as timeless maps where people are always gravitating towards them, if there's an end game Easter egg or not. And I do feel like Siberia has that potential because of just how stunningly beautiful it is, how ruggedly difficult it can be, and just how different a route you can take every single time. You can go east way, down the middle, west, and actually come up against different challenges every single time, purely because of getting hit with various horrible things you throw out there. I genuinely think that Siberia has that potential. Having been so lucky to have been on there when there was no towns, there was no cities, there was loads of grey boxes on the floor showing this is where this is going to be, this is where this is going to be. Seeing it in this version now, like I said before, we were last night running around going, we don't know what else Red can do. This is fucking amazing. We are so lucky to have this on our doorstep just to be able to play. So I understand and I get that you're always wanting to update and you always think, you know what, just keep things going and expanding and having new ideas. But in terms of a creation, it was unbelievable. Like it's Jekyll in chat, it's mind blowing. It's brilliant. Like some of the like the way it's put together. It's not just we'll put a building there, we'll put some patches of trees there. I've seen you put roads and fences down, and it's all so thoughtful into how can this fit into a potential. I've never even thought of it as a storyline, but how can this fit into someone's journey, and not just be a case of it's a road going to another place. Yeah, so it's just yesterday was just really eye opening. Of actually, this is incredible.
The beautiful thing about DayZ and great maps is we touch on what you said, Gunnar, about roads. I was in Siberia and I was running down a road and I was going uphill and the sun was coming up and it was so immersive, and then the music kicks in and I was like, this is really beautiful. This is I'm in it. I'm inside this game and it is really immersive right now. I mean, I'm on the brink of death, and these zombies are about to kill me because I wasn't prepared, right? But I was in it, and it felt really special. I mean, the music kicks in, and I was like, whoa, this is just so cool. And you don't get that often. And I don't know, maybe we take it for granted with some of the, especially some of the official or and vanilla maps, but because they've been displayed so many times. But I personally don't get that feeling when I play Chernarus. I don't know if I'm about to get canceled for that, but you know, I got that feeling when I was running down that road in Siberia, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. It's a really cool feeling. And you know, so with that said, it's like, should we update more often a Chernarus? Or, and I know there's other servers out there that are changing it, you know, but there needs to, yeah, I guess Gunnar, you're right. I mean, there's always going to be something. RedHunter, you said it earlier. There's always going to be something that you want to add on to it. There's more detail because it's never really done. You know, I mean, John McClane is still doing it. So I guess to answer the original question, as in, no, you can never really put it down.
But in that sense, Fred, what keeps you motivated to keep doing it?
I'd say I don't know, it's a passion. Like I like everything about it. When I do it, it's not work for me. It's like a hobby. And what motivates me is seeing people play it. Is when I see people saying, like you guys say, it's beautiful, that moment, etc. I like seeing you guys adventure and being in your eyes, when you're playing, and I'm like, wow, I did do a good job. Like I'm glad. So that motivates me. Yes, there's always gonna be people saying like, ah, this forest is too dense. Ah, this, nah. I understand it. It's normal. But each map have, their own aspect. They have their own environment. If I would listen to every feedback, I would never end, changing the map. So I'm glad there is still people that they see my vision and like my vision. You know, that's what
I'm sure there's a lot
counts.
of I'm sure there's a lot of self-editing that you have to go into it, not just from the feedback that you get from players or from whomever, but I mean, I'm sure that you do a lot of self-editing to your own thoughts and to your own I guess, you know, you try it out and you're like, oh, this is going to work. This is not going to work. When do you, just like with like, you know, I dabble in making videos, right? So I can sit on something and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. Or this is going to work. And then, you know, you can constantly battle with yourself on what works and what doesn't work. But at some point you got to just say, hey, that's good right there. I'm going to move on to something else and pick it up later. When do you decide, or do you even struggle with that? I mean, I don't know.
I do. Look, if Gunner, you played New York version 1, first New York. So you do know I rebuilt it completely from scratch.
Yeah.
So like one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm deleting New York. I took the file, I put it in my basket and I deleted it. Started from scratch. I'm like, okay, this is not good. I'm redoing it properly with all the feedback. Took me another year and I'm still going at it. And I'm currently working with Polygons, by the way, because a lot of people don't know him. But he's the one helping me with the map. He's making the north of the city. So he has as much credit as me on that. He's helping a lot and he's pretty good. Just to let you guys know, okay? So yeah, I do struggle with it, but you know, I'll take time sometimes to decide, but when I'm fed up, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. You know? You
Have you ever thought
gotta
about revisiting older maps that you've done in the past? I mean, these two, you mentioned one prior to the New York and Siberia, but I'm sure that there's more that you've done over over the years. Have you ever thought about picking one of those back up and redoing that?
Yeah, my first map was called Dead Isle. It's
Mhm.
actually a trailer of Dead Isle on YouTube. That's one of my oldest map. It's the first one, and I always wanted to rebuild it, but today with the knowledge I have, I feel the ideas of what it's not as good. Like I picked up Dead Isle and I did Siberia. Iceland, same thing. I mixed both maps together to build one,
Hmm.
but more realistic. So that's why I'm not rebuilding them
Okay.
because the
Ah,
ideas come from it.
so as a person, and in terms of personal growth, do you feel that you deal with feedback and comments and questions differently now than when you first started? Do you feel like you've developed a thicker skin, or um, how do, because at the end of the day, everyone, we're all just people and we all still react to whatever is said. Do you feel that you've been able to shield that a lot more, or how does it affect you as a person?
I've shielded more. The beginning, I'll admit, when you first start, it's like an artist, okay? You do a drawing, you've been doing that for a while, and you decided to publish it for the first time. It will hurt sometimes your feelings because
Hmm.
people will judge it. You know what I mean? They'll say it's shit, even though they know nothing about it. They can't draw as good as you, but they'll still say it's bad. So in the beginning, you like get demotivated with that, and you're like, you know what? I will never draw again. Then you get back up and you try again, and you get positive feedback. So that's what keeps you going. Is that you got to keep getting bad and good positive feedback. And I learned to shield it. Like sometimes I see people in streams, they say bad things, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Now I don't struggle with that anymore. I just go with the feedback. Like, okay, this, a lot of people are saying that about that. I'm going to look into it. You know, I try to see it in a positive way so I could adjust it and so people could be happy.
That's,
It's
yeah,
a good
yeah,
way to look at
that's
it.
yeah. Because I have come across, and obviously I'm not going to go into who, but people who've not taken any sort of feedback well. And the fact that you can go, okay, let's look at that. I'll work with that. I will move on from that. It's testament to like the development as a growth from where you started and where you are now, and what you're producing now as an artist. Is pretty incredible. Um, just trying to read what Popskis wrote in chat. Sorry.
It's a novel. Basically, Popsky is going into just your style, Red Hunter, as in we know what that we're playing your map. That what you've done is just pretty magical, and you've done a good job with the storytelling. To paraphrase what Popsky wrote, um, basically just congratulating you on what you've done. Um, I think he mentioned something in there about working with a group of people to make a map. And how does that process of collaboration basically kind of work with what your vision is? Uh, because people have ideas and you chase people down. A lot of people have jobs and lives, and they don't can't put time and effort as much as others into it. So um how much have you collaborated, and what kind of challenges are there with the collaboration process?
So when I first met Holy Goons, uh, he was hosting a New York server and he was rebuilding the whole map with editor. And I don't quite remember how we talked about it, but we went into an agreement of working together instead because I kind of liked his edits. And I was like, you know what? Why stop rebuilding the map? Let's work together and let's actually bake it into the map. Because if you do a whole map in editor, your server is gonna lag like hell because it's loading for models in a different way. And I had a hard time with that, being able to work with someone. So I got into fights with him in the beginning. He had his opinions, I had mine. And gradually I started to trust him. Like, okay, let's try to be both agreed on an idea and build it together. So we started to work like that. Now we tell each other stuff. Sometimes we go in a call and we discuss it. And we're like, hey, let's do that on that island, or let's do that on that street. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, maybe that, but why not do that too? Like, I'll take maybe his idea and I'll just take some of it and I'll modify it, and he'll do the same for me. And then we agree on it. And it does help to have two brains more than one. So it's a lot better for mapping than being alone. But it depends what project. Like Siberia, I did get my friends to help me with it, but it's more of a solo sort of project. He's helping with some stuff, Batman. Um, but like Volsk that I'm working on now, that's gonna be completely me. Like that's my project. I'm slowly doing it.
Do you want to give
So
us some insight on this new map that you're working on?
um so there is the lore that I posted on my Discord.
Mm.
If people want to read it, there's also an image of the map, but then a big description. So how it goes is I wanted to picture it like you start off on the shore south, and the story is that the survivors, they wake up, they don't remember who they are, they don't know where they are, but they are clones by scientists that have cloned them, a little bit like Maze Runner. Have you seen Maze Runner? So
No.
you wake up, you never seen it? No? Okay, so you wake up, you don't know who you are, but you're an experiment. They bring you in a maze and you don't remember anything, but you gotta do the maze. But around that maze, the world is ended, like it's the apocalypse. So it's the same thing. The island is like an experiment island. You don't remember anything, but they're testing your survival skills. And in your
Nice.
DNA, you cannot turn into a zombie. But yeah.
I
Anyway,
like
so if
that.
you want to read it more about it, go check it out. But yeah, it's gonna be a nice map.
No, I like that story. That's good. It's intriguing. The conspiracy, the experiments. You know all about the
Yeah,
experiments.
it's gonna be
Gunner.
labs where you find notes and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Is it going to be hot, cold? What's the terrain? What's it going to look like from a playing perspective then?
So how it is, I don't know if you got, I don't know if you guys could do a screen share of the map on your video. I don't know, but it's like it's a cold map. It's a little bit like Namalsk.
Okay. Okay, we can
It's
share it in Discord. Yeah.
dry land and cold.
I saw
It's
your
like multiple islands together.
wheels turning, Gunner, when he asked you to share something on the screen. You're like,
Yeah, I
oh
was
my
like,
God, do I got to
"Ah."
push some buttons? Holy shit, what do I got to do?
But yeah, we'll definitely share that in the Discord as well as the link to Ascend's Horizon as well.
Yeah.
So, in terms of that's what your next big project is, how much time then, in terms of time management, how much then do you put aside for Siberia, for New York? Like, how do you actually balance all this up with your work-life balance?
Oh, in real life, I worked like
Yeah.
anyone else, like 40 hours a week. So when I get home, eat dinner, and I start working on it. And sometimes I finish, it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, go to bed. Next day, I go to work. I do that every day. On weekends, I take a break. I don't nap or anything. I do that
How
during the week.
do you decide which map you're going to start working on?
So I
Or
go
is
with
it just
my idea,
inspiration?
inspiration. Like if I got an idea for Siberia, okay, I'm like, okay, tonight I'm working on Siberia. That's what I do.
Okay. I thought you were about to say something then, Rakan.
Thinking.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, in terms of the progress that you've made, so New York version 1 is completely gone. Definite. Or will we see hints of version 1 in the update of version 2?
So version 1 is currently public. People can host it. Version 2 it's private. It's private for now, and we don't know if we're gonna make it public anytime soon. Because we really want it to be a good map. Like we want it to run as good as Chernarus. We don't want people to go in the city and be like, oh shit, it's lagging everywhere. You know? And we want it to be playable, like perfect, before we make it public.
When you get chance to play, though, where do you not including your own maps? Where do you go? Where does RedHunter like to go and play DayZ? What maps kind of get you excited and kind of turn you on, so to speak?
I would say the mosque. The mosque, I love it. I like the day one servers because the struggle in it, how the player interaction in it too. So yeah, that's one of my favorite servers. I'd say Shima was fun, but it was very laggy. And it's been a while since I've played it, so I don't know if they fixed it.
I think they worked it out. It's gotten better.
But it was a very nice map. Like
It's pretty.
You could see there was time into it.
A lot of detail.
Yeah.
Speaking of detail, when you're out there looking at maps, I mean, 'cause I've seen other map makers out there build maps, and there's lots of opinions on style and build style, and we talk about JMC, and everybody always kind of jokes about his endless fences and how things are put together. But that's how he builds, right? Do you see things in maps that you play to where you're like, I would change that. I would do something different. So with that said, as in if you jump onto Chernarus, is there anything that you would change, that you would add to it to make it better or to enhance the experience of the player?
Chernarus, I would make it smaller. A lot smaller. Maybe it's because of the woodland, a lot of forest. It's very large, and I'd overplayed it. So I haven't played Chernarus since Xbox, to be honest.
Oh wow.
I think I played once with Hitty on her event. That's pretty much it. Yeah. But I do go sometimes in maps and I go like, okay, this area is laggy and I know why. And some stuff like what was it called, that island map everyone was playing? There was a
Skilly.
bridge you could cross over. Yeah. So Skilly had the setup. It was good. Like people played it. But the polish of the map was not on my liking. Like a lot of things I would have modified. But other than that, the setup was good. Like some things I was looking out and I was pointing, okay, that I would fix,
Is there a super secret DayZ map maker club that where you guys discuss things with each other and give each other feedback? I mean, is that part of the DayZ community open to discussion with each other about, hey, I was on your map, this is what I see, maybe take a look into it, or are you guys as in artists just kind of, this is my art, let me work it out?
To be honest, there is a Discord called the Modders. I'm not a fan of it because a lot of people. Okay, there is good mappers out there. I'm gonna name one. Ego. He's a very nice guy. He's helped me with tips on my map a lot of times. Always polite. Always nice to me. A lot of people in our community, very snobby and very mean.
Oh, it
So
shouldn't
it's
be that
very
way.
hard. It shouldn't be like that. But if you ask a question, they'll act to you like you know nothing, like you're nothing,
Hmm.
and that should not be like that.
Yeah,
So it's
knowledge should be
hard to have
shared.
friends in that. Yeah, friends in this, it's hard.
Yeah. Wow, that sucks. I don't want. Yeah, I would hate to feel like I'm on an island building something, and not be able to share knowledge and it be received, or or find the help that you seek out because you're stuck on something. Um, so, has there been a lot of advances with technology from the time that you started creating maps until now within DayZ itself, the game, to where it can help you build and um, easier? I heard something. Reason why I bring this up is 'cause I heard something about that John McClane was saying about Reforger and how it's a lot easier to build and to create on Armor Reforger when he was redoing the Deer Owl for that than it is for DayZ. Is Has there been any advances since you started?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Daisy Tools Terrain Builder is the tool to make maps. Okay, and
Mhm.
since they last updated it, the few updates we had, they kind of broke it, so it's even worse than before. Like it's very to place roads, just the roads. I hate placing the roads. You'll drag a road, it's gonna duplicate 4 times. So you got to delete every road, and then when you move it, it lags like crazy. So there's a lot of things that need optimized that Bohemia is not like looking into right now, and they should fix some stuff like that. A little bit like what helps us, Daisy Editor, the guy who created Daisy Editor. He made it so that now you can make your map. Let's say you go in editor, you load your map, you place your objects as a text file for Terran. You go in Terran Builder, you import it, and it goes exactly where it was. So you save hours of placement because you can fly around smoothly to place things. But in Terran Builder, you have like a red ball, and your screen is weird. You can't do like everything you want. It's really hard to place things like you want. So yeah, it's not crazy. Armor
So is
Reforge is all level.
Right. So is that the future? Is that going to be the future of how you build for DayZ? I mean, when is something like that going to? I guess we would need DayZ to move onto a new engine, right? The engine that the Reforger runs on.
Yeah, exactly. They would need to have a talk with the creative Daisy editor and change their platform completely. Because editor, there is rumors that they're making another mod where you could edit the Terran. So that's going to be a whole new level.
Okay.
Yeah, for map makers, it's going to be way better. So they
That
could do
that's
it. They
exciting.
just got to change the application.
Okay.
So, Red, in terms of like you, the player, and you, the map maker. So, when you play other maps, do you feel you just play, or do you feel like you're critiquing as you go along, or can you just completely put your map making side to one side? And the second part of this is, what would you, as the player, what would you remove from DayZ? Like, what really bugs you about DayZ?
That's a good question. Well, I'll answer the first one. So
Mhm.
when I play on the Moss for say, that's where I disconnect from mapping because the map is perfect like it is. I have nothing to say with it. Of course, there could be a little more details in some spots. It's always the same, but I don't really check that anymore. I just play and enjoy the PvP, the encounters. I just have fun. So yeah, that and what's your other question? Sorry.
what would you remove as just a player now? What would you remove from the game altogether? Like, what really bugs you?
Some stuff like where you rain your clothes. I think it's too long. Some stuff, some mechanics I feel are very slow. The game is already hard like it is. So when they add mechanics like that, and you hear a guy raining his clothes next to you for an hour, it's, you know, it could be something really simple, like just raining your clothes takes 2 seconds. You put it in the water in the well, you rinse it, and then you grab it. And there you go. You don't have to wait 30 seconds of cycles. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they could concentrate on better mechanics than adding little mechanics like that.
Yeah, it's understandable.
RedHunter, how are you on time? I know that you were kind of limited, so I wanted to do a time check with you.
I could go for another 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Just let us know. I'll try to keep a close eye, but go ahead, Gunnar.
So I thought you had a question lined up then because you had a time check.
Mm-mm.
Or do you want me to just go in with my next one?
Yep.
So I know we've talked with this is predominantly about DayZ, and that's what we want to talk about is DayZ. But are there any other games that inspire you, and you bring those game elements into DayZ, or do you see they're entirely different entities altogether?
It's funny you talk about that, but I'm currently working with Corvo, one of my scripters, on a system that I want in DayZ that's not there yet, that I've seen in the forest. You've played the Son of the Forest? When you walk in the snow and you see the snow moving, it does like piles of snow. I want that in snow maps. And we're
Ooh, that'd be
currently
cool.
making a mod on that so that when you walk in the snow, you'll see like chunks of snow behind you, left behind, and it'll disappear with time.
Yeah, like
So
Yeah.
so
footsteps.
a tracks, yeah, like a track system.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. That was kind of like what Gunnar's question was. I want to add to that a little bit. So when you talk about other games that maybe inspired you into doing what you're doing now, what were the games that when you were younger, that were you building, I hate to say Minecraft or anything like that, but or Sims or anything to where you were creating uh these worlds? I guess when I was a kid, I'm old, but you would create these giant like Lego maps, you know what I mean, where you put down a green slate down and you would start building cities and forests and whatever you would. What were you doing at a young age to inspire you to jump into? Not anybody's going to go and play DayZ and say, hey, I want to start making maps, because it's not for everyone. So what was it that turned you on to creating maps?
There's an old game I used to play. If you guys played Age of Empire
Oh yeah.
back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
there was a map. There was a map editor on it. You could build your own map. So I used to make my little wars in that. I would do my own island and start my own scenarios and everything. At a very young age, I used to do stuff like that just with drawings. When you're super young and you don't you find ways to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that with my how do you say that? My bonhommes. Like small soldiers, and do my scenarios. I always been like a scenarist. Like I, my English is bad sometimes, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and as I went older, I also went into Gary's modding. I would do my own not maps, but my own mods on it. I made a DayZ mod on it.
Can you remember? Let's go back, way back, Red. Can you remember what the first game you ever played was?
Jesus. I'd say the first game that really marked me,
Mhm.
it has nothing to do with the games we play today. It was James Bond, GoldenEye.
Golden.
On the
And
N64,
Yeah,
the best
I
soundtrack
overplayed
ever.
that game. Yeah. And I'd say after that was Half-Life. Half-Life was something.
Yep.
I played years that game.
What about you, Gunnar?
Mega Drive, and it was probably first game would have been probably Sonic. Would have been Sonic, but I was really into like Urban Strike and Cool Spot and Earthworm Jim. I've still got the Mega. I've still got every single thing that I had. I started off on the Mega Drive, went to Sega Saturn, then got PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Then I completely disappeared off the gaming map for a while. Then got a PlayStation 4 and a Wii, and then it was actually only partway through the PlayStation 4 journey that I discovered DayZ. I was looking for an open-ended map after playing Days Gone, and then someone suggested DayZ, and now here I am, PlayStation 5. And then I was supported in getting a PC. But yeah, probably Sonic. I think it was Sonic.
Yeah, my earliest memory was Metroid, and having to like draw out maps on paper to figure out where to go next, to find out what boss to hit next and stuff. That was pretty fun. Pretty fun.
But I'm
played
really
Sega
lucky.
too on the, back then.
My dad, he had an Atari. Do you know, one with a cartridge? Still got that somewhere in the house. They are just like you. You come off, finish those games, and your hands don't work because of the joysticks. But yeah, I should. I can actually think you can get an emulator and still play those games. Oh, hang on, someone's mentioned Pong, and maybe not Pong. And no, I didn't take a 12-year break to masturbate, as Popsky's suggesting in chat. It was maybe a year, maybe 2.
Red, where do you see DayZ in the future? In the next, by what year is this? 2026. So 2028. Where do you see DayZ, as somebody who creates? Where do you see DayZ going? I mean, I don't know if you know who knows what insights people have about DayZ, but where do you see it going? Do you see it growing to where we get a DayZ 2 with an Infusion engine in ever by 2030, or is this what we're going to have to be accustomed to, as in the modders that are out there and the map makers creating new experiences for the DayZ players?
Well, that's more of a Bohemia answer, but me,
Sure.
honestly, they
Speculation.
should really keep it.
Mhm.
They should really keep, like, I'd say, how the character movement and how the inventory is. They should keep that original. Maybe modify the deaths, the animation.
Right.
Focus on the animation, the environment, the quality. With Unreal Engine, they could do better. Changing the environment, the terrain builder tool, so that you could actually do tunnels in the map and not place a bunch of rocks. Stuff like that. I bet they could do something good with it. So eventually, I'm sure they're gonna update it like that.
Okay, that was my question. Is, do you foresee these things happening? Do you see these big improvements from what the movements that you see from the Bohemia teams that what they're working on? Do you see that there's a possibility, there's hope out there of of a game with less bugs and a better. I mean, the game's beautiful. We all love the game. It's beautiful. I like the UI. I think it's better than some of those other games that are out there that are similar to it. But the there are things that could be done to make it better. And is Bohemia and DayZ gonna do it in a way? I know the focus is on Arma, of course, because that's the bread and butter of Bohemia. But do you think that they're investing into the DayZ experience as they should?
I think because of us mappers and modders, they've noticed it, and they're seeing that people are going toward that more than official. That they started to focus better updates now. Like they're like the new map they're coming in with stuff like that. I feel they've changed their mind. It took a few years before they started doing it, but they're starting to progress now. But
Okay.
they totally need to. I think they should hire people like us to help them. You know, to have more
Right.
of the community feedback because it is a great game. I've been playing Daisy since it came out on PC and never let go of that game. And they have a
I mean,
charm right now, and I think they should take advantage of it.
they've slowly started hiring modders. I mean, Sumrak, of course, is one of the bigger ones. But what is it? Windstrider, right? He's part of the team. But I guess that's part of my question was is that are they doing enough? Are they hiring more? You don't think that they are bringing enough in?
I think it's the updates they're doing is not enough
Okay.
because now they're trying to rush new maps, but they should really focus on the animation in the environment before starting new maps all the time. Because now they released Sakal, now they're doing the other one. They should really focus on that first, the engine.
Okay.
So my answer is I don't think they are doing enough, but they could do more.
Okay. Noted. They should. I agree. I still love DayZ though.
Same here.
How are we doing for time, Red?
I think it's pretty much going to be it for me tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
No, but thank
Red,
you.
it was a pleasure. I feel like I have got a lot of insight um, in the creation side of it, and I appreciate you being here. Everyone, go play more Siberia. Get out there and play it. Looking forward to New York, of course, and of course the new map that you're working on. Will help support and get all that out there and spread the love on that one. I'm sure that Gunner will be on Siberia a ton, and I'll jump on as well. And just share the love, man. The community needs more maps. It needs the map makers and the modders out there, and you guys are doing the Lord's work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Red. Thank you, dude.
Thank you guys for the invite. Have a
No,
good
no.
night,
Yeah.
guys.
Cheers, dude. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
And then there were two.
There were two. Gunner, what'd you learn?
In all fairness, there's knowing kind of what I know, and sometimes you don't know what you don't know already. But what we know about Red is the amount of effort and work that goes
Fryer.
into it. I've watched. He has streamed his map making process as well. So some of the stuff he's mentioned, I've been aware of, but I didn't realize how difficult, because a lot of time he's very locked in when he's doing his streams, like how possibly when he's like placing roads, like the duplication of efforts. Like you already know that the job is tough as it is. Actually, the terrain made it twice as hard essentially. I feel like his patience must be either running exceptionally thin, or he just has an ability to just endure because of what he's creating.
Yeah, I mean, you're stifled by the lack of tools,
Mhm.
basically, to create for DayZ. And I think that kind of goes with pretty much anything that you're trying to do with this game. You know, even if it's making a video or if it's, I mean, just sometimes playing the game. I mean, the tools that are there aren't the greatest. I mean, you have the launchers need updated. The official launcher, for instance. I mean, that's a basic tool to play the game. And just the support from actually Bohemian. I don't want to like knock on Bohemia and knock on DayZ because that's not the point of this. The point is that there needs to, and I think we kind of touched at it with the end there with Red, is that, hey, you know, more efforts need to be put in just to fix the bones a little bit. Work on the bones and work on the essentials, and then we'll start getting pretty and start putting lipstick on it and sparkly bits, and then, you know, a nice dress and some shoes. But right now, let's work on the insides.
I imagine there's a lot of creative struggle as well because he wants it to be as good as it can be. Always, he's always striving for. I don't want to say excellence because that's not the right word, but he's always striving for it to be better. And I really appreciate that. As an athlete, I train and I compete and I train and I want to be better and better. And you can see that actually that skill set, that soft skill and that ability is actually transferred no matter what kind of element you're in. But it must be hard when you are limited in those kind of tools, because if your creative juices want to do X, Y, and Z, but actually the tools only allow you to do X, Y, then that must be incredibly frustrating. And you know,
well, it's tedious. You know, you got to do this, and then you got to remove this. It's 2 steps forward, and then 2 steps back. Who's saying that? Paul Abdul. But it's like you know, you just want to do it once, right? I want to do it once and put it down, and for it to stay, and you know, not have to delete over and over again. You know, and edit over and over. Anyways, yeah, it was great having him here.
100%.
I think we need to do that. We need to have another map maker on at some point. Gunnar, what have you been up to, man? I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks. What have you been playing? What have you been doing? What kind of chaos have you been trying to stir up?
Well, there's been a little bit of a busy week really because I had set up the new PC. So I was making sure that didn't fuck up. So since the last time I spoke to you, I've done 2 events. We did one with Discipled. That was King of Comanche. That was a really good event. That was tough though. It was a tough one because Bitterroot's not, you know, an easy map to navigate really if you've not played it that often. And again, it just really I frustrated myself in a sense that actually I was on Bitterroot and I thought, I love this. I love this. This map is really cool. I need to play this map more. Yeah, you were, Popsky. You were definitely in that event. So that was that one. That was really good. We didn't quite win. We nearly got there at the end, but unfortunately, the pink team, and I think that included Control Freak and Senna and 3 others who, off the top of my head, I can't quite. I think Armstrong was roped in last minute. And then over the same weekend, there was Lone Survivor, hosted by Ariana. They were really good. Again, that was on Chinaris, and that was strong. That was a really good. There was some really good gamers, some really good streamers, and me. And we battled it out for 4 hours, and that was really cool. And again, without, and you know, starting at the, you know, I can't even say who starts this. Starting with modders, map makers, server owners, event organizers, really, really keeping the DayZ light burning, and giving something different for us. So that's been really fun. This week I've played Winter Cherno, but the queues for Winter Cherno for some of the servers have been astronomical. It's been incredible. When we're talking about player base, it's just really, really busy. I've not had a chance to get on any DRL this week. I've played some Namalsk today. I did my first console stream in God knows how long on Friday. So I'm going to try and make.
How was that?
It was eventful.
How was your console stream?
I'm going to try and make Fridays my console day. I'm going to try and do 2 weeks,
Cool.
2 weeks
Mhm,
no, 2 weeks PlayStation, 2 weeks Xbox, 2 weeks PlayStation, because it took me a little bit to remember what the controls were. It was fun. I got 3 kills, 1 death. I saw a man have his trousers stolen, and then I killed said thief, which was fun. But it just reminded me the difficulties and the limitations around inventory, around PvP. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but considering I've stepped away for a little bit, it just made the amount of times I dropped my rifle because I was pressing the wrong button. It was like, I hope no one's really noticing. Sorry, some man had his trousers stolen and thrown into a bush. It wasn't me, and it wasn't my trousers.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, it was just, again, sequence of buttons to do something that we can do with a very simple mouse stroke. So it's, again, it just demonstrated to me. So how I'm then going to manage that with the Xbox, where I've never, ever played DayZ on, ever. So I don't imagine the buttons and the keys are going to be the same.
If you need somebody to run around Xbox, I can dust it off and plug it in and see how it goes. The holidays were crazy. Birthdays and birthdays and birthdays after the holidays. So I really, this past week, I kind of dove in pretty hard with some DayZ. Since the last podcast, I've gotten some time in to really get some good runs in, or attempt to. I've been, deadline, bro. I mean, that server is pretty sick. I've been stuck in that. Now there's bugs, of course. Dab and his team are trying to fix it constantly. There's constant updates on it. They're trying to make it amazing, but what they're doing is pretty wild. You don't see me on a whole lot of ultra modded servers. But that one's been pretty fantastic. I'm trying to create a story on that one. Oh, by the way, I'm supposed to give you a kiss. Mwah. I ran into our friend James, Honest Criminal, on deadline today. I logged into a police station, and he had just, because the server crashed, right? So I finally got back in, and my teammate that I was running with got murdered. I heard a big bang and a body drop, and then I heard his voice come out, and then me and him had a little bit of an exchange. He didn't know who I was at first, but he was like, we were having, I think he tried to have throat sex with me with our voices. It was weird. Well, he said that we're gonna have a throat baby, and we're gonna name it Gus, I believe, like, because of esophagus. Anyways, so he told me to give you a kiss. We didn't murder each other after I told him who I was. And we just we went on our way.
Initially, did he call himself Randall or James?
Right. So when we were having this exchange, we didn't exchange names, and then I stopped because he's like, how are we gonna get out of this, friend? And I was like, wait a second. What's your name first? And then he's like, what's your name? And then I told him. So I knew Randall or James or Old Man James. I know that. So that's why I asked him what his name was.
Yeah, if you hear the word Randall, run. Just run. Get the fuck out of there. James, Old Man James, you might live a little bit longer, but yeah, the man is a terror.
I was half expecting, as I was running away, even though me and him are friends, to get shot in the back. But it didn't happen. So I would have accepted it. But I was holding that corner, and I told him, I was like, dude, if you come up here, I got this corner. You come in the room, you're done. It was in a police station. So
weirdly, and as we've been doing this, we actually connected through Siberia. He bumped into the Mad Rocker, and I was in Mad's stream just chatting away, and he starts meeting this guy, and he's like, if we're going to be friends, we've got to take off our shoes. And I thought, this guy's fucking insane. And then I was like, this guy's fucking loony. But he's actually really entertaining to watch, because a lot of the entertainment value he brings is very, very natural. He's a natural performer, entertainer. it just rolls off the tongue with him. He doesn't fall over his words.
Right.
He's asked.
Right.
He gives me shit all the time, saying that I don't love him and that I don't run with him. So at some point, I just don't know how our play styles will match out. I get the feeling it'll be a bit of
you guys have the same play style.
Good cop, bad cop. What? The man's a terror.
I mean, I've seen you commit a lot of murders. Just so you know.
A lot of them fell. A lot of them fell.
No, I mean, you guys both play fast, and you guys you chase shots. So I mean, it's not, you know, that play style it's PvP. You guys like the PvP. What kind of the story that I'm trying to work on the deadline is that we've taken over the radio station, and I'm gonna try to like broadcast from the radio station, man, and just to bring some of that old stuff that I was doing before that made me fall in love with creating things on DayZ. I'm gonna try to do some of that again. Try to create some stories, some of the lore out there on deadline.
I was talking to Caddyshack Phil, Caddyshack Phil, and she was telling me that you'd taken over Radio Zenit, and I was like, of course he has. No, I would not expect anything else from Rakan. He has gone to Radio Zenit, locked the door, and said, "Come and get me. This is my house now."
Yeah. So we went on a run with Phil, my friend Holy Ball that's in here, and we accidentally ran into Cam Can't Run, and he's like, "Shit, I gotta." Basically said, "Shit, I gotta take these guys on an adventure." So he took us on an adventure. He came by the house because supposedly he was like, "I'm not going to be nice to the stream. I'm going to kill everybody." And he heard our voices talking in a house, and he decided, "Guess I better be nice. I can't kill them because they know who I am now." So it was fun. We did that. Phil was of course, we had a great time with Phil. She is a good person to run with. She's a caring teammate.
Phil did Namalsk yesterday with her dad.
Yeah, I saw some of that. Yeah.
Also known as Uncle Nicky. Now, some of those TikToks and Reels have already made it out there. So if you don't already follow Caddyshack Clay on social media, then please do, because they are entertain. Like this. Oh my God, her dad is talking about his ex-wives, and you just hear her voice is just going, What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? And it's like, oh my God, this is actually happening to you, Phil.
He was telling her, "Don't get married. You're too young to get married. Don't do it. It's too expensive." So on and so forth. It was pretty wild. I was like, oh my God, Phil. Tomorrow,
her partner Axiom. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Yeah, she has her partner Axiom. He's also a streamer. We actually run with him on Deer Isle. So I'm sure he was well pleased to hear that bit of advice out on the internet and now on TikTok as well.
Right. Tomorrow I'm doing it's Cam Kent Run's birthday, so we're doing a stream snipe event on Wildlands Winter's Zaha server. So we're gonna go out there and try to hunt some hardwood and kill him. He goes by Mahogany in game, so. And that's a very nice piece of hardwood.
I was thinking
so we're gonna go kill
wood
him.
aspect.
Yeah.
What else you got planned for the week?
That's I don't know. Work Tuesday, Wednesday, one day at a time, brother. One day at a time.
I did mean in game, but okay, we'll work on that one as well.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I got some videos that I'm working.
Okay.
I have a couple videos. One of them that I'm working on now is showing off a new mechanic that I discovered in that deadline server that they created that I've never seen in DayZ before. That led to my death. So it's interesting. I'm like, what the hell happened? I don't want to tell you, but you just have to wait. When I put the video out, you'll see. But yeah. So I'm gonna work on a couple of those, and hopefully we'll get busy.
Nice.
2026 is here.
It is, and it's already partway through January, so we are pretty much racing towards Feb, an alarming, scary speed. But I'm hopefully going to get myself into the Chinaris bunker this week as well. I was going to do it today, But the server that I was on was 100, and there was a queue of 33. And I thought, by the time I get in, I'm.
But you found the location, right?
No, I'm in the vicinity.
Okay.
And I'm fed and I'm watered and I've got reasonable health, so I can have a little look next time I'm on. But yeah, today I wasn't going to make it on. It was ridiculous. And yeah, I'm just trying to do a couple of TikToks a week just because it keeps it relevant. I've actually made some really good connections, made some friends. Hopefully going to go on some runs with people through TikTok. You do get the usual smart asses. I killed a trio at Deer Isle, and someone comes on and goes, "Oh, you should have had your gun on full auto." What about you? Right, thanks. The guys are all dead. And he goes, "Oh, those two were already dead." Yeah, because I killed them, you dickhead. And he goes, like, someone giving me grief because I double tapped someone. Right, sorry. I've had too many people get up and kill me because I've not double tapped.
Gunner,
yeah,
you're not supposed to react to all the comments.
Oh, I am. There's
Popsky,
24 hours in a day for me.
When am I going to go PvP? I'm horrible at PvP. I need to practice. So let's get in some death matches and let's try to get better. But the last time I played in a death match, I ended up getting a kill with a knife because my gun I couldn't get my gun to work like it was supposed to, so I just knifed the guy. So that's how I do it. All right, let's just run, Popsky. We'll get a run in. We'll do it, man.
But this is the thing as well. We talked about resolutions of like trying to do more questing and more team ups and stuff. And this has been crazy. Like I'm trying to arrange team ups with 4 or 5 different people at a time, and I'm a bit like I don't want to let anyone down.
Yeah,
because I want to give the amount of time that it deserves. But it's just crazy. Like there's so many really good people. That I could run with. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Popsy. I don't think that was me. We'll probably need to move on from that. I think that was another case of someone falling over accidentally. Yeah, that's it, Popsky. We'll move on. But yeah, it's just it's a really good time to be playing DayZ. I think for what I'm trying to say. There's so many different options, and obviously with our friend mapmakers doing the business and our server owners making things happen, it's keeping that DayZ wheel turning.
Right. Wildlands is coming out with another Green County on my birthday, so I think there's an update to Green County, and that we're gonna have a new version of that. So that's something to look forward to.
I think the last time I played on Green County, I found a 4-wheeled truck, and
trucks usually have 4 wheels.
No, they have 6 on DayZ, don't they?
Oh, a big truck. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of different trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was driving really slowly down the road and clattering everything because the wheels are hitting the ground. And some guy got in and was like, "Can I have a ride?" And I was, yeah. And actually, I was ending stream. I just drove into the river saying,
"Yeah, I remember
singing,
that. You
yeah, hello, darkness, my old friend."
Yeah. Yes.
End of stream. We're both dead.
That's funny. I do remember that. All right, brother. I think that was a good episode, dude.
Yeah, I think it helped. It helps in a way not taking stuff for granted. When I know I would go on about people like RedHunter who make this game amazing, because there's lots of us and there's lots of people. Not me, sorry. There's lots of people who make it happen. But yeah, there's so many different maps to run, and sometimes you do find yourself falling back into the same routines of going to places where actually big pop, big names, in fact, but there's so much more on offer with places and servers to go to. So I just need to, I think that's one of the things I took away from it. Is actually sometimes you do take it a little bit for granted what is out there.
Popsky, if you want to, Popsy, if you want to team up on Green County, we can make it happen. Let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah. There's just go ahead.
No, you carry on. Sorry.
No, there's like you said, there's just so many options and so many things that you want to do, and there's so many good people out there that you want to support, and there's not enough time to do it. So as a resolution that I kind of have was to I have some communities that I wanted to help grow and also grow within those, and because I believe in the people that are behind them, and that's part of this game. There's lots of good people behind communities and behind maps and servers and all this. So that's the thing about it. It's not just a lot of people just play this game just to play the game and just to murder and shoot, but there's more to it, and I think that we should see behind the curtain, and everybody should be able to see that there's more to this thing that we love. I mean, even content creators, there are more to what they do, even the bigger ones, the teams that are behind them, to make things work. So it's awesome.
As is what Popsky's just told us. But
Popsky.
Okay, it's late. It's Sunday. Things have got a bit frisky. We all go around Popsky's house and give him a scene too. Should we raid out?
Yeah, let's raid out. Popsky, I was thinking about sending you some a bag of dicks for Christmas. It was gummies, but I didn't know about your diet. There's like these little gummies that you can buy that have like, chewable gummies, like not like drug gummies, but like gummy bears, but they're shaped like little penises. I was going to send you some of those, but I decided not to.
Disappointingly, I imagine. But do we actually have? I don't know whether he's playing on Deadline as well. I don't know whether he's playing as James or Randall, but he's streaming right now. So should we jump over and say hello?
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Speaking
right,
of,
well, beautiful. Well, thank you everyone. It's been cool. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks, I reckon.
Hey, thanks for everybody for joining us. We love you. Long time.
Take care, guys. See you in a bit.
Broadcasting straight from the zombie apocalypse, you're tuned to Static Signals, a voice in the DayZ community, with your hosts, Rakan and Gunner the Runners. Survive the static, share the signal. Broadcasting straight from the zombie apocalypse.